Hey, what's up everybody? We are back again, and I know at this point you're saying, really? Another video on young Simmie? What's the deal? You already made 2 videos revealing him as a scammer in the past. What could you possibly have more to say in this video? And honestly, I agree with you, because initially there was going to be no third follow-up video on this artist. I mean, after all, I already exposed him twice on the other channel. There's really no reason to continue to hammer down on it, because I mean, 9 times out of 10, after I do a video on an artist scamming, a bunch of other people come out of the woodwork, either in the comments or they end up hitting me up on Instagram, basically telling me their own stories of being scammed by that very same artist. And sometimes if there's enough of it, I like to do a follow-up video, because after all, when I did the video on Young Cortex, people didn't initially believe that he was a scammer, but after I did the second one and there was more people telling the same story, it became a lot more believable. And when it comes to young Simmie, it should be the same thing. I mean, after all, there was already 3 people who came out against him saying that they got scammed by him in the past, so adding a couple more on isn't really going to hurt his reputation anymore, is it? But the problem is that people still don't know that he's a scammer. I actually ended up getting hit up by somebody saying, hey, I saw a bunch of your other videos and I think I might have got scammed by young Simmie. And I was like, dude, you got to see my videos on this. You weren't aware that he was a scammer? And he was like, no, I had no idea. So this video is basically here to try to signal boost the story a little bit more by putting it on my main channel so as many people can see it as possible, so hopefully everybody will know that young Simmie is a scammer and not to work with him in the future. And if you haven't seen those videos, don't feel bad. Apparently a lot of people don't realize I actually have a second channel, but if you want to check them out, they're there to check out, but I will give you the rundown right here. So this all starts a couple months ago when I end up getting hit up by an artist going by the name of Frosty Official, telling me that he might have got scammed by young Simmie and that he hadn't delivered on a feature for a couple months. So of course, I want to cover the story. I end up doing the first video showing all the screenshots, but then Frosty starts to get a little bit aggressive with young Simmie, basically calling him a bitch. They go back and forth and things get a little bit more tense. Eventually, Simmie actually ends up delivering the feature to Frosty, but only after the video came out and basically only to save face. But I mean, he did get it, and then he would immediately drop it in my Discord server for basically anybody to use. But in the process of all that happening, he would also start to look into other people's stories to find out if anybody else had been scammed by young Simmie, and it was a surprisingly big amount of people. And young Simmie's entire argument was basically, hey, I got 70 features that got done in the past. When I work with bigger artists, I make sure to do it right, but when I'm working with small artists like you guys, I don't really care that much. Simmie also believed that there was some sort of conspiracy theory against him, that people were paying YouTubers to make videos on him to basically tear down him and his reputation, but after Frosty said that me and him were actually friends and we ended up making the video without any payment whatsoever, young Simmie immediately started bragging about how he could get the video taken down and how he had a bunch of lawyers.
White boy, don't try to play victim, nigga. Once you in my inbox talking all that shit, nigga, I could talk about your race, your hair. I could talk about anything about you, bro. You're not finna be in my inbox talking out the side of your fucking neck. And you probably paid them YouTube niggas. But what you not understanding is, bro, I'm an independent rapper. I own every song you ever heard. I'm not signed to no label, bro. It ain't no way in hell I'ma not make money off my music. Let's not talk about my business that pays me very nicely, bro. So you want to continue to be in my inbox and pop your shit? I just need you to understand it don't mean nothing to me, bro. It don't. Because at the end of the day, I told you, all right, I'm going to send you a song. You want to continue to pop your shit like you the Hulkamania in this wrestling? Okay, it's not going to help you, bro. Funny part is I wasn't going to say nothing because I got a lawyer. I got entertainment lawyers, bro. You feel me? And getting a YouTube video pulled down for defamation is easy, bro. Definitely when you a verified artist. I just want you to know that, bro. Maybe Puya and them niggas don't got time to pull the videos down about him. Because what does it matter? But I got time. So when my lawyer reach out and asks him to take that video down, and we give him a certain time, and it doesn't come down, that's when I'm going to send it to my YouTube manager.
Basically, he was going to get rid of any criticism about him online altogether, so I think he should honestly be friends with Danny Towers. And I basically covered all of that in the follow-up video, basically proving that young Simmie doesn't give a shit about small artists whatsoever, which I do understand. Sometimes when you're a bit of a bigger artist, you don't really want to work with people who are super small because after all, they might not understand the process, little issues could occur, but at the same time, if you're willing to take their money, then you should be willing to take them seriously. But young Simmie basically said, hey, I delivered on 70 features and only really missed out on about 7 of them, so that's pretty good odds to me. Even though I took 7 people's money, it doesn't matter. So in this video, I'm basically going to show you 2 of the other 7 people who ended up getting their money taken by young Simmie. One of them doesn't really want his face and name put in the video, so I'm only going to be reading his DMs without really saying who he is. And the other person is the one who inspired me to make this video in the first place, because he actually got taken advantage of by Simmie pretty recently, showing that he's still up to his old tricks and he's still not delivering on features. So here we have the initial message that he sent me saying, "Yo, I know you be exposing rappers for scamming, and I'm pretty sure young Simmie ain't giving me a feature I paid him for since it's been over a year now. I got proof of the PayPal transaction and screenshots of DMs from my old account before it got deleted." And unfortunately, that happens quite often. There's so many stories that I've heard about rappers in the underground that have to do with old Instagram accounts that ended up getting deleted. All the evidence is on that account, and after it gets taken down, there's absolutely no way to prove what they said anymore.
Remember, if you can't show me complete concrete evidence of every single factor that has to do with me, then I'm completely fucking innocent.
A lot of rappers thrive off the fact that basically everything they do before they get famous will eventually get deleted by either people losing messages, losing their account, forgetting about it, or moving on. And this is an argument that I hear over and over again when it comes to big time rappers. I did that back in the past. That happened before I was famous, so I shouldn't be held accountable for it anymore. But in my opinion, there's no statute of limitations on being a piece of shit. If you're willing to do anything to get to the top, including screwing people over, stealing people's money, and basically being an all-around piece of shit, I think that should eventually come out. I do get the whole argument about people bringing together every single bad thing you've ever done in your life and putting it in one video being a little bit manipulative, but I'm not talking about young Simmie saying the N-word or, you know, being mean to an ex-girlfriend. I'm talking about him stealing people's money. And it's not one of those gray areas where maybe he had a former collaborator who thinks that he owes him money, but in his mind he doesn't, so it's kind of confusing there. A lot of people accuse me of always taking the smaller artist's side, but I mean, after all, the little artist doesn't really have a voice to fight back against these big guys. But when it comes to these situations, it always seems very cut and dry. Basically, the excuse from the bigger artist is, "Oh, I forgot, I took on too much work at once and I wasn't able to keep track of all the money that I was taking from different people." But I really feel like that's a brain dead excuse. I mean, after all, this is supposedly your job. You're taking money from people. I'm tired of saying it over and over again, but make a list. Do something so you can keep track of the people you're taking money from. To you, it's a simple mistake because $200 doesn't mean a whole lot to you, but to them, that could be all the money that they saved up in a month's time. They really were waiting on that feature, hoping that it would get their career in a better spot, but you never delivered. Just because you managed to blow up, get the money and fame and everything you ever wanted, doesn't mean that you need to forget about the smaller artists, because at one point you were that smaller artist. You were grinding, making music with your friends, doing music videos, anything you could to get attention, and eventually it worked out. But now when it comes to these smaller artists trying to get a feature from you to hopefully blow themselves up, you don't give a shit. And does that mean you're a malicious scammer who's trying to go out of your way to take people's money? No, but in this situation, the intention doesn't matter. If you're stealing people's money, if they're paying you for a service and you are not delivering on that service, I don't care if it happened when you're young, I don't care if it was a misunderstanding, I don't care if you forgot about it, find a way to get them what they paid for. I mean, I hate to go back to him again and again, but honestly, he's a very good example because Sinister actually ended up making a list of every single person that he owed a feature, and he delivered on multiple features, over 100, and never scammed somebody. It truly is not a hard thing to do. We need to stop making excuses because we like these bigger artists, because we look up to them. They shouldn't be able to get away with this. Well, everybody gets scammed in the underground. Well, things need to change. Anyways, my bad, I went off on a huge tangent. I gotta get back to the message. She goes on to say, "I've been hit him up on my new account and he never responded, even though I have proof I sent him the money and shit and that he owes me a verse. And to be honest, I don't know what to do anymore. I pretty much accepted that my $150 is now gone." And of course, we have the proof right here saying Simmie Gang Records with him sending him $150. So he actually did send $150 to young Simmie to get the feature. Unfortunately, we don't have all the screenshots of the entire conversation. He basically told me that he only took these screenshots because he couldn't believe that he was going to be working with one of his favorite artists and he wanted to show people that it was actually going to happen. It goes to show that he had no idea that young Simmie might try to pull a fast one on him, but we do have this message right here saying how you want to lock in, PayPal works, send me that shit, I got you 100%, and then he sends his email and he goes on to say, "I'm so hyped." After that, we got another screenshot. I'm not sure if this was before or after, but he ends up saying, "Go, how are you going to want the payment like PayPal or some shit. PayPal, bet, I can do that. I'm finna bring some crazy bars for that track, 100%. After that, he goes on to send him a couple open verses. He says, give me a few to get back to you. You sent though, right? Bet, I sent 3. Yes, sir. Okay, bet. 3 beats or opens? 3 beats. I didn't write nothing yet though. But I'm gonna fully write and record one tonight for the open. Do you want 16 bars or more? He says 12 or 16. 12 always cool. He said, bet, I'll leave you 12. Hey, so I finished writing one of these beats. There's a 16 bar open. Would you want to do it? I haven't recorded it yet because I got sick and I haven't been able to get good takes, but it should be finished relatively soon. Then after that, he goes on to say, I got that open recorded. Let me know when you're ready. And then he ends up seeing that message but doesn't respond to him. And I mean, how could you do that to your own fan? I get at the end of the day, it's business and you're not really trying to take it that seriously, but the guy is so excited to work with you. He's hyping you up. He's sending you fire and goat emojis. And you're just like, yeah, man, give me that 150. I don't give a shit. I don't care about my fans. And to make things even worse, he actually ended up hitting up young Simmie in the modern day. And this is really why I wanted to make the video, because what he had to say to his own fan I thought was so disrespectful that I wanted to show you the voice messages right here.
What up, gang? Hey, I'm down to make that record happen for you, bro. You know, that payment is last year and it's only 150, so I probably was just shooting you like a deal. I appreciate you, and I'm sorry that the song didn't get finished when it needed to. If you want to double back, bro, spend a little extra with me. I'm not gonna charge you nothing crazy. You know, drop another 150 on me, 200, and we'll be at 300, 350 total, which is still the best price that I'm giving anybody this year. Definitely not this year, but you know what I mean. I'm dropping a whole album next month that I've been working crazy on. So I just want to make it worth my time if I'm going to go ahead and book studio. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's free, bro. I pay for studio time too. But if you down, you can send me a new open. We can lock in. We can keep communication this time. Make sure the communication don't get lost. And we can go ahead and do something fresh. You know what I'm saying? You know, and really, I just want to make it worth my time, too. Because if I call a homie up right now, he going to tell me 50 an hour. You know, either way it go, I'll be losing money or not making money. I'll just be doing it for the fuck of it. So if we can just make it worth my time, bro, you send me a fresh song, we stay in contact, I can make it happen for you. And like I say, I'm not going to charge you nothing crazy. You spend an extra 150, extra 200 with me, you good. You know what I'm saying? And that's the best I can do to make it worth my time, make it worth your time. Like I say, I pay for studio time. So say I go buy 2 hours right now. I'm basically doing a feature for you for $50, which is unheard of. You know what I'm saying? So if you can meet me in the middle, bro, I can make it happen for you. You know what I'm saying? Just let me know, gang.
The absolute audacity of this guy to not only say that he did end up taking his $150, but then asking for more money because apparently now his feature price has gone up. Why does that matter? You're the one who sold him the verse back in the day for $150. That was the agreed on deal, but you didn't end up delivering. Now you want more money because you need money for studio time? Stop recording your music in a studio. Record it at home if it really costs that much. I don't even understand the argument of having to go to the studio and paying $150 for an hour. Why are you selling features for $300 if you have to spend all that money at a studio? Record at home. Everybody records at home nowadays. There's no reason to go to a studio whatsoever anymore. And if you are going to a studio, that's your own stupid fault. That's not on the fan to have to pay the difference when you already agreed on $150. Like, do you even care about your reputation anymore, or are you basically cashing out? Like, would anybody have expected that his career would have went this way back in the day, making music with Raider Clan, Space Ghost Perp, Denzel Curry, getting a bunch of music videos on Worldstar Hip Hop, doing shows all over the country, to basically scamming people out of $150. What a fall off. And we even have another instance of him scamming somebody else. So this guy ended up hitting up Frosty saying, hey bro, he says, what's up? He says, yeah, so Simmie scammed me out of like $1,200, bro. $1,200, bro. Come on. He says, holy shit. He says, keep my name a secret for now, but that's the gist of it. Dude, I'm so sorry. Yeah, no fucking problem. You have any physical evidence? Like, do you have DMs or pictures that transactions exist? Everything will be anonymous. I will promise you that. Yeah, all that. He says, if you have any evidence, send it through if you can. You are not the only one, so we need to fucking speak out. He said, we spoke on it on and off for like 3 years since, and it's a lot of shit. Wow. Okay, I got it. He says, I even got to meet him and his manager at the time and still got finessed. I just never stressed too much because I thought one day it'll come around. How many other people do you think so far? He says, so far I received 4 others, not including you, that have said Simmie has scammed them. None of them have given physical evidence though. And then after that, he actually goes on to send a couple DMs, although they're very very small, so I'm going to try to show them right here. Oh, so this got to be one of the chillest guys of all time getting scammed for $1,200 and being like, no big deal. I would be crying, coping, seething, pissing myself, and probably shitting myself as well, man. I mean, $1,200 is not a small amount of money, at least to me, but this guy could be rolling in it, who knows. After that, we got some screenshots where he says, what's the budget, gang? You know I'm gonna show you love. 100 all I got if you actually gonna send it. Not sending my song for $100, maybe $250, but if you give me that, I'm gonna send it for sure, gang. I got some shit I can send for real. Just finished the album and I got some extra records. And this kind of plays into the running theory that I have with Young Simmie, that he basically only sells people opens. I don't think he actually sells people original verses. He ends up recording an album. He has a bunch of opens he doesn't want. He pawns them off on different people for around $200 to $300. Once they're all sold off to people, he basically keeps taking money from other people saying, yeah, I still got some opens left, or I can record a new verse, but he'll never actually go record a new verse for you if it's not for his own music. So when it comes to Young Simmie, the best case scenario is that you'll get a throwaway open from his album that he didn't want, and worst case scenario, you get jack shit. He says, type shit, respectfully, I gotta hold off till further notice though, big bro. I just wasn't expecting to hear from you, and I'm in the middle of something at the moment. Hope you understand. When I receive the back ends of these recent records, I'll hit you up. And he does end up holding off for a couple months until August, when he ends up sending him a payment. He says, yo, what you mean? Never mind, I went through. And then he goes on to send him a couple opens, which he never delivers on. And right here you can see that he sent him $200, $250, $50, $100, $200, and then $200 more dollars. So let me do the math on that real quick. Yeah, that's basically $1,000. And I think he actually ended up sending him another $200. We have a screenshot of that right here, although it's very blurry, so it's probably hard to see. So as you can see, $1,200 all to Young Simmie. And of course, he didn't deliver, although he did do a little bit of promotion for the guy at the time, although like Frosty said, $1,000 for promotion is definitely not worth it. I mean, that's basically what Florida Jit ended up giving Ness the Kid for his own promotion, which he only delivered half on. So at this point, if you're giving people $700 to $1,000 for promotion when they're falling off rappers, I think you're getting scammed. Is that fair to say? Can everybody agree on that, or are people still gonna have a defense for Young Simmie? Because after 3 videos of him doing this over and over and over again, it goes to show that you simply don't give a shit. And honestly, if you don't give a shit, Simmie, that's fine, but you can't be taking people's money. So there you go, 3rd video, Young Simmie scamming people in 2024, craziness. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope it goes far enough that people can finally end up seeing it and realizing that Young Simmie is gonna rip you off if you try to buy a feature from him. Everybody needs to look up Young Simmie scamming. People should make videos on this topic as well. I can't be fighting these battles alone, because after all, everybody's trying to take me out of the game. So if I ever get taken out, we need other YouTubers to pick up the flame and make videos on these scams as well. We gotta out all this shit. We gotta change the underground. 2025 Knife Gang for president. I don't fucking know. Knife Gang, 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 gang. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out. And here's a little message from Frosty himself. Take it away, Frosty.
Hey, I just woke up. I just want to say, shout out Twisted World, Young Simmie diss track, December 19th. Keep it posted. Make sure you know it. Make sure you know what's up. Young Simmie, if you seeing this, I want my money. If I don't see my money, if I see your ass in Ohio, boy, it's on site. Lit.